G'day folks, and welcome to the opening of Case Blue. And this is a combination of OCS, Guderian's Blitzkrieg 2, Enemy at the Gates, Case Blue, and Crimea. So the Enemy at the Gates maps end... Where's that map? See, just up on the top here. So it does cover part of Enemy at the Gates, Guderian's Blitzkrieg 2, sorry, and then Enemy at the Gates, and then Crimea and Case Blue below. I did an introductory video. I have run through sort of the first many steps. I've gone through whether first play determination is fixed, aircraft refit is nothing, then reinforcement supply, and we're up to movement. Now you'll notice here I have highlighted my airfields. This is one of the most important or early important decisions you make around placing air units. And as you can probably try and get the impression here, I've tried to place a lot of them up in the north. Here is Voronezh here. Yep, I've got Kursk here, Belgorod down here, a couple of airfields down here around Kharkov. And then as we scroll down to the south, I've still tried to maintain a bit of a presence for this southern drive across the Donets. What I want to happen is for the Italians to get across here and be prepared to drive on Milarovo as this force from the north comes down. In this video, I need to say first and foremost, I'm learning OCS, relearning OCS. So there will likely be rules errors, and there will almost definitely be strategic, operational, tactical errors. I am trying to do the best thing, but I will inevitably make mistakes, so be prepared for that. This is not necessarily best practice, but I do want to use this video to kind of talk through my decision-making practices, highlight what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. As I'm learning this system, there aren't many videos. Kev Sharp does some great videos. There's OCS World, which runs through everything. I want to kind of talk about the background to my decision making and how I'm learning the game a bit. In the movement phase, I can sort of head anywhere. I might actually clear those counter highlights, so it's not takes a while to load up. I can start anywhere, but I want to start. Voronezh, this mountain area here. So I pointed out that this is going to be one drive along this rail line, and this is going to be a second important area here through Voluki to Ostrogozhsk, through Novi Oskol. So I might start up in the north. You can see I've already identified my supply. There should be some here as well. Yeah, plenty of supply here. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm looking at this area. Now, again, I'm playing this solo as well, so I'm playing two-handed, basically, which does make the fog of war rules a bit redundant, and particularly with this vassal module. So when you're playing against somebody, when you expand a stack, it'll hide this unit. I can instantly see that. It's hard to, I don't know how to stop that from happening, but basically I'm going to have, no fog of war pretty much. Okay, so looking at this, what am I looking at? If I zoom in on this area, because this is where I've got my units back here, I've got decisions about whether or not to place them in reserve. Now, I honestly don't know. Part of me is thinking, okay, if they're placed in reserve, they get a quarter of their movement as a bonus. But the problem is, supplies are tight. Well, certainly they will be tight. Do I want to be, wasting supplies just to get 2 extra movement out of these units? Or do I want to use them during this movement phase to get some overruns and so on? So that's the first big decision. What do I do with these units? Do I keep these 4 big divisions? 5, one back here, 6 actually. Do I keep them in reserve? Or do I send them forward? If I fuel them, okay, the other consideration as well is if they are put in reserve, yes, they get to move during the exploitation phase at full movement, and they can take advantage of any huge gaps created. I could always just see how I go with these gaps, then decide to place them in reserve, or draw upon them to try and create additional gaps. And I can do this sort of one at a time. What I want to do as well is lead with the infantry along the front here. And what I'm thinking, and what I'm looking at in particular, is the action rating of some of these units. This Soviet division here has an action rating of 1 compared to the 4 of this division. Okay, that costs 3 movement points to overrun. So my thinking is, okay, I'll need to put that unit into move mode, and they can move 1 space, and then the 3 to overrun. Okay, now they're at 10 to 11, which is not great odds, but if they succeed, they'll get that column shift. Could end up with an average, let's say, of 4 to 1, perhaps. And it might just be enough with the +3 modifier to that roll to force them to retreat. Add to that, I've got my air units. I can do hip shoots with the Luftwaffe. So that's why I've placed a lot of my air units in the north up here to facilitate that. So I want to get hip shoots on all these units. Well, yeah, most of these units along the front, where I'll be driving, ideally to DG them, reduce their AI by 1, halve their combat strength, and yeah, facilitating that overrun. And that's going to be the first thing I do. Now, this is tough. This is Soviet Armored Brigade in the front. This is the rail line that I need to capture. So this may not be subject to an overrun. This is just 1 unit in this hex, okay? So even with just a basic 10, I've got 5 to 1 there before the surprise roll. So this is where I'm looking to really push through this gap here. That's why I want to create a gap and then swing around from behind. If I don't have to attack these units, great. If they are forced to pull away from that area because of the risk of being out of trace supply, then great. Even better if I can just push straight to the Don from here. How far can I get? 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then across that. That's a minor river, which is going to cost +3, unless I'm crossing here. So do I try, and this is where I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's best. That's a single unit down there. Getting across this river is going to be costly unless I'm crossing at this bridge, 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 or bridge. Costly in terms of movement points. Yeah. So yeah, look, while it's easy to push through here, I'm then confronted by this river, which won't get me far. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't even get across it on that first turn. Whereas, if I use the railroad, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, not much further, to be frank. What am I missing? How else do I get further? That track also costs 1, so that's not going to accelerate the movement of my mech units. There's a track up there, so really they're just crossing open terrain, 1 movement point per hex. So maybe just getting to that river at the first turn is the best I can hope for. Oh, hold on, look, if I put these into move mode, they can go 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We can get to here, this vicinity, just outside the Don nets. Don. by the end of that first turn. I think that's what I'm striving for. So by the end of the first turn, I would like to have these formations here. Or perhaps swinging down. So this is hills, which only cost 1 for tracked units. So if they go well here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Look at that, they can be in the outskirts of Stadioskil, and really threatening all these Soviet positions, including the ones on this rail line river. So yeah, it's kind of a question of how soon do I swing south? I can swing through here. That they are light woods. They are a bit more expensive, so I can swing through these hills here, only costing 1. And I can swing over the hills. So I think swinging down through the hills here is a good move if I can kind of come down here. But certainly hitting this unit, hitting that unit, and just pouring through that gap. And as I said, I'm not inclined to move these formations in reserve during the movement phase, because I don't think I'm really that desperate for the extra quarter movement, although that'd be 4 movement points if they're in move mode. I'll see how we go. Okay, so look, first things first. The first thing I want to do is some hip shoots with my air units. Now the first thing these hip shoots are going to need is a spotter. So I might start back here, put these guys into move mode. 1, 2. Actually, hold on a sec. Maybe we get our breakdown unit to move up first, just to cover. Let's get these guys. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm going to try and swing as many of these big divisions around to the south here and push down south of the Sosna. Yeah, I think we're not trying to push too hard in the north here. It's not a priority. Don't want to divert resources up there. Maybe use this Sosna as like a northern barrier, but really it'll be like Voronezh. We're going to push south along here. Okay, so we've got our spotter in place. So now we can conduct hip shoots against these hexes. And I want to start with this one. I'm going to grab here we go. Let's try this. JU-87D, 17 barrage strength. And I'll follow the mission sequence. So I've declared the mission type. It's a hip shoot. I've moved aircraft to the mission hex. I've actually moved adjacent, but yeah, this is the mission hex here. Resolve air combat. There's no air combat. Resolve any interception. Okay, so I've just realised this is actually in the patrol zone of this Soviet base at Yelets. There's three fighter aircraft there. Okay, so maybe that's a mistake, trying to hip shoot so close to that base, but it's happened, so I'll go ahead with it. And the Soviets are thinking they might get off to a good start here, so they're going to throw in a Yak-1 to intercept. Okay, so then we have interception and air combat. So the attacker selects one of their it's just 1 because it's interception. They roll 2 dice. It's a 4, adding it to their air combat rating, making that a 7, and then subtracting the defending air combat rating, which is a 6. We check the air combat table. The attacker aborts. Okay. We'll also roll to see if they take a step loss. They do not. Okay, so just an abort without a step loss for the Soviets. So they become inactive, and return to their base. Leaving the Germans to continue. Resolve any flak. Ooh, okay. So I need to check the flak modifiers. Flak, no, does not contain HQs, no airbase, no flak. It's in an enemy patrol zone, and the mission does not have a fighter. It's a tactical bomber. +2, the mission has no fighters. So +2, which does push us up to 12, which does cause a loss. Okay, so there is a step loss, if I understand it correctly. It's in an enemy patrol zone. Yes, we've established that. And no fighters, so +2. Kill 1 mission step. Oh. Okay, that reduces their strength. Alright, step losses and then resolve the mission. So, okay, get that chart back up again. We are looking at a barrage of 9. Okay, so they've got to think about shifts here. So it is a strength of 9. They have got a division, no modifiers there for shifts, no hedgehogs, it is clear terrain, and no other modifiers. Okay, so we're looking at 2d6. A 10 is going to cause a 1/2 result. Okay, there's no hedgehog, so we roll a dice. And a 5 will cause 1 step. That's brilliant. And they are disorganised. It's a very interesting back and forth start. The interception, fail. Flak cause a hit. But then even with a reduced 87, they cause a step loss and disorganisation. So that's going to reduce half their strength and reduce their AR down to 0. So a good start. And then they return to base. Now, already kind of learning here. Should have done a fighter sweep. Okay, so let's do a fighter sweep. Let's grab my BF 109G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. They can make that and back in 48. Okay, so we're going to do a fighter sweep here. So fighter sweeps can be done 1 aircraft at a time. A fighter is moved to the hex with active enemy aircraft and engages in air combat. Win or lose, the mission fighter is aborted to an airbase within range when the number of rounds of combat conclude. X can be the target of any number of fighter sweeps, and the play note in the rulebook is there's no reason to have more than 1 fighter per sweep mission, since multiple sweeps can be flown against the same target hex. That's why I've just sent 1, noting that. All right, so air combat. Air combat. We declare the mission type. We've moved. I guess they're prone to flak. Yeah, it's a fighter sweep. It's a mission, so they are prone to. Interception and flak. I'm just thinking, I guess the Soviets could intercept, but they won't. Yeah, they've got some more fighters here, but they'll just leave it. Keep some of their fighters available, I guess. All right, so let's go through the air combat. Both players lay out their aircraft, or we can see 1 inactive. That's a tactical bomber. Then we have 2 fighters here, Yak 1 and a MiG 1. Versus this. So the attacker selects one of their units, this. The defender selects one of their air units. Let's pick the MiG 1. The attacker rolls 2 dice, and the 3rd dice will be the lost dice. So we've got a 5, 6, 7, 8. No, sorry, 5, 10, minus 2 is 8. Air combat 8 is defender aborts. Okay, and we rolled a 4, so there's no step loss on that MiG. So they are inactive. Okay, then we repeat. They pick their next fighter. We roll 3 dice. Oh yeah, that's going to be a defender abort, and that is going to be a hit. So that is a hit on the Yak 1, step loss. They return to base, and that's all the fighters dealt with in that space. So now the BF-109G can return to base. Happy. Should have started with that. Right, there we go. I'm learning lessons. Start with the fighter sweep before you send out your tactical bombers. Okay, so we've DG'd that unit now, and I'm just thinking, do I push through now, or do I try and send out all my air first? Look, maybe to see what happens. So here we go. I'm going to put these into move mode. 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5 to overrun in this hex. So we're looking at AR4 -0 because they are DG'd. Let's bring our charts back up. Let's look for our combat surprise down the bottom here. So in an overrun we need a 9 or more. So we're looking at a 5 or more. Yep, that's an attacker surprise. Column shifts are 6. Okay, so we're looking at 10 to 5.5. So looking at 1 to 1. It's in clear terrain. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're looking at 9 to 1, open. 7 plus 4 is 11, which gives us an AE3, DL2, AL3, 11, AL3, DL2, O2, GG. So that's dead unit and an AE3. All right. Oh wait, were they reduced? I'll need to check the setup for that to check. Did I not notice? Yep, I made a mistake there. So they actually had a step reduce, which means they halved in attack. So it was actually 1 to 2 instead of 1 to 1, which would have made the 7 to 1 column. And an 11 has exactly the same result. There we go. No difference between the 7 to 1 and the 9 to 1. DL2, O2. Okay. All right. Good combat for the Germans. And first successful overrun. So first successful hip shoot, first successful overrun. We're just widening that gap. Let's move on to this hex here. And only one unit there. Just a independent regiment with an AR3 though. Okay, let's try a. Let's see what we got. We got no active fighters in a patrol zone. So we will try a hip shoot with JU-88 flying to the hex. There's still an option to intercept from here. Range of 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, they can make it. Should have flown a fighter sweep of here as well. 2 fighters there, didn't realise. But we're not going to. We're going to conserve our fighters in this region. Just because the first one didn't go well, and I'm worried. Maybe I should fly a fighter sweep. I can probably reach it surely from... Yeah, got air bases here as well. In fact, let's play safe. Let's fly another fighter sweep. We'll find another, here we go, BF-109F. Another BF-109G. Throw our big guns. Can he reach 44? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22. No, can't reach. The 105G with a range of 53. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Can just make it with a hex and a half to spare. Okay, so sending the BF-109G out for a fighter sweep on the Voronezh airfield. Soviets. Oh, we have to do. I think I've got to do flak for the last one. No interception. We'll resolve flak. That should be safe. Then we'll send out our fighters. So we roll 2d6 plus 1. It is a 7. 12 minus 2 is 10, which is a hit. And the 6 means it is a step loss for the Soviets. And they are inactive. They'll send out their next fighter. 2d6 plus 1. Ooh, 3 plus 5 is 8. Minus 2. 8 minus 2. 3, 8 minus 2 is 6, which is an attacker abort. The 2 means there's no loss though. So they're inactive and back to base. Okay, interesting. And I believe that fighter remains active. So just double checking, units remain active after performing a successful interception. So I did make a mistake up here. So I'm kind of punishing the Russians with my mistakes. Forgot about flak. One of those should have been active after the successful interception. Look, I've missed it now. Too late. I'm going to keep going with these mistakes rather than trying to go back to correct them. Which one was it? I think it was the Yak 3, so they should still be active. I could do, I remember what the combat was. It was plus 5, so let's try it. 4 plus 5 is 9, minus 3 is 6, so that would have aborted, and it would have caused a step loss on the 109G. So we can do that, fix that up. Too late for flak, but yeah. And this one, I think it stays active. Didn't technically intercept, but I think it's kind of has the same effect. Okay, so there's still a fighter available in that base, and I think it's out of range for most of my other German fighters. Yep, they're very active. Okay. So now we're going to go on with my hip shoot of this hex. So we'll follow the mission sequence again, declare the mission type, move the aircraft, resolve any air combat, no, determine any interception. Is it worth it? I don't know. May as well, I guess. Try and send a fighter out, try and intercept them before they can... Is this really critical? I'm just worried there could be other opportunities. Yeah, I don't know. I might hold them back because I'm not overly concerned about losing this regiment. Resolve flak. 8 plus 2, I think. 8 plus 2 with no fighters, yeah, 10, so they're safe, just. Then they resolve the mission. So we are looking at a barrage on the 8 to 11. It's a one-step unit, so it's 1 to the left, so now 5 to 7. A 12 is a 50-50 loss, no. So they are just disorganized. Wow. And they are inactive and can return to base. Right, now with that unit cleaned up, we can maybe grab this division. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to overrun. Now we're looking at we're looking at 10 on 1. Oh no, sorry. First of all, AR. So they are halved when DG'd. I think I forgot about that earlier. Okay, so looking at 4 on 3 minus 1 is 2. So a difference of 2 for the surprise roll. All right. 8, 9, 10 is attacker surprise with 4 shifts. So at 10 to 1, it is in the open, so it's way off the charts here. And let's roll 7, 8, 9, which is an AE3 DL2. So another dead Soviet unit to the dead pile. AE3, did I say? 7, 8, 9. AE3, yep. So they are also in exploit mode. Not that they'll be able to get far, but you know. All right, so we've kind of first objective complete. We've created this big gap, and we can begin to pour our Panzer and motorized divisions through that gap without having to worry about these tougher units in the south. Again, I could have already poured through. This just kind of secures these flanks a little better. Okay, so how do we do this? It's kind of like every solution creates another challenge for you. Right, I've done that step 1. Now step 2 is pouring through this gap. All the while, you know, wanting to protect my flanks and all that kind of stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I feel like I want to bring one of these brigades down to here. I might just put a breakdown unit there. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. And I might just swing them around. I don't know. Look, just to avoid, remove the temptations from the Russians in this area. Okay, so protecting my flanks is looking good. I could move this unit up to here. Okay, look, chances of Soviet counterattack on this huge offensive, very low. Maybe I just go deep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I want to say. Minor river, leg, +1. Yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get across that river. Not moving in here because, I mean, 1, 2, 3, even if he does move, it can't go further than there. Okay? And it's unlikely they're really going to try and challenge. Okay, so down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same idea. Right, so I've protected the flanks of this drive. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to pay supplies for those overruns, and there's no exploitation during overruns. Okay, so correcting these mistakes, that's okay. So 1 supply for the first one, 1 supply for the second one. Supplies paid, exploitation markers removed, there's no exploitation in overrun. Yeah, I think we're okay. Correcting these errors, making errors, fixing them. Okay, what else? Okay, the choice here. Do I smash into these units, engage in combat, or do I just tie them up and swing around? For example, all right, I might fuel up 11th Panzer. They are fueled. There we go, fuel marker. Again, in combat mode, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to here. In move mode, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 to here. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so putting all of these into move mode to fuel them up. And let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. They're my avant-garde. And we'll keep them pretty close together. In 2 decent stacks. Yeah, okay. So look, we've broken through and we've pushed in. Now, now we've still got 5 other divisions, 3 Panzer divisions, 2 motorised divisions. Would be good to get the motorised divisions. Okay, so what have we got here? We've got a single unit. Do I push through here, or do I just go around? And strongly encourage them to retreat. I like the latter because it saves my supplies. My thinking is don't spend supplies. Supplies are precious. Don't spend supplies to attack a position head on if you can encourage the defenders to move out voluntarily. So I'm going to spend another supply point to fuel the 9th Panzer. They are also going to go in oh, did I flip? When I flipped the truck, did I accidentally? No, they should start field, right? I'll need to check that. Did the truck? Yeah, the truck's a field. Yep, that's fine. Okay, so yep, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. This is that gap that I was talking about. Problem is, does this create, am I just slowing myself down unnecessarily? Do I just want to keep close to the dawn? So I'll come down here, I'm just going to compare these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Right, so I think I like the idea of keeping west. These infantry units are not going to be able to get away. All right. So yeah, I'm going to do that. Easy. I think I'll just do that. We've got this big offensive underway. We'll fuel these guys. Put them all in move mode. Except for you guys, sorry, you're fueled. 14 for these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, hold on, we've also got trucks. Trucks cost extra to cross. Trucks cost 5 to get across, in fact, which is 2 extra. So they are 2 further back. They're fine. But they're not, nor are they. Okay. So yes, tracked units pay 3 to cross the minor river. Trucked units in black here pay 5, so they won't be able to move as far. That's fine, we can adjust their movement. They're still very strong in that area. Okay, so these guys with their 18, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Keep our trucked units together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And we might keep our tracked units together as well. Simply rushing to the dawn. And sorry, they should have been up here as well. All right. Now, put these guys in move mode, had them there. And we've got some tracked units here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 13. Now we have the issue. They cannot move as far as the others. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 13, 14. They'll be able to get to there. All right, 14, and then 14, and then 15, 16. With their trucks. And they're fueled. And did I pay for that fuel? I think I forgot. All right, let's fuel these guys up. Okay. Separate them from the trucks. Put everyone in move mode. 16 now for these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Protecting that southern flank. Look, they can all move 16 anyway, so we'll boost them a bit. Here we go. Let's not deny ourselves a point. And now we have 13th Panzer here. It's what to do with this. I kind of want to try and pin them down a little bit. Maybe get some breakdown units to fan out the line. Is kind of what I'm thinking. Just get a couple of breakdown units. Look, again, I'm always worried about this Soviet counterattack. That is extremely unlikely. But yeah, how wide should this gap be? Is that enough? Do I need to worry about it? I've got trucks here. Okay. I think, what am I going to do? Break down one of these formations and try and send the other one through. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're across the river. Okay, so I think I'm going to create a breakdown unit out of the this one. Yeah, so they've suffered no losses, so we'll split them into 2 and create 2 breakdowns. Let's find AR3 breakdown, AR3 breakdown, and just going to kind of move in. Might create just one more. basically 3 breakdown units from this division spread out along the line. I don't know if it's necessary, but otherwise I just have a division sitting there. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Just trying to, I guess, protect the headquarters. There's a lot of vulnerabilities behind the line. That's just what I'm thinking. Unlikely, but you never know. Okay, AT. What is that? AG. 5-5. Wow. Did not see them earlier. They would have been fantastic for a breakthrough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to get there. Look, I feel like we're moving to another sector. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Get the Hungarians to come up. So got the 13th Panzer here. I was just waiting to see what else might happen down here, but I think I'm going to send them to the same gap. So fuel them. Okay, get them and their truck, just so I don't put them into move mode. Okay, and then we've got 16 on our trucks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 15 to there. Let's go one more. 16. Actually, we'll just undo that last one, hold them there. We'll bring these guys 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. They go further actually. Oh, sorry, there are 14. Okay, and then they are of course fueled. So there we go. Look, that is the northern breakthrough complete. I've got a lot of little admin things to take care of behind. Oh, here we go. We've got some Hungarians as well, which I'll need to fuel and move up, and then figure out what to do with the headquarters. That might take me some time. I might do that, and then I'll start another video as I move to the south here. Where am I going to move to? So 3rd motorised. And then there's this area here. There's going to be this drive north. This is the next most important, second most important. So I might even move here next. But what I'll do is I'll stop the recording here, take care of some of that northern admin, and then, yeah, might shift my attention down here. All right, thank you, folks, for watching. Just to give you an overview of what we've done. Here we go. It's yeah, what I hope to achieve. And then we're almost on the Don. We can hit the Don, see if foreign edge can fall. Otherwise, just continue driving south. All right, more to come. Thanks, folks, and take care.